Also charged. You tell a story about me so Kenobi 90 doesn't feel special anymore. One day, Bizco is walking through the forest with his magical sword of iron buttfuck. And he was like, I am a hero with the magical sword of iron buttfuck, and I am walking through the forest. And then the evil Goblin King came, and he was like, you are no hero, I am evil Goblin King, roar! And so Bizco stabbed him in the face and remained hero. And through time, Bizco has remained hero of iron fucking.
Don't try bullshit platforming.
Doesn't work too well. Tell us a story about the time you and Jesus enslaved the world with a dildo. It's actually a fairly common story. You see, me and Jesus, we were all like real pals at one point in time until, you know, he decided to be like, oh, I'm the son of God. And I'm like, yo, dude, you ain't the son of God. You know who you are? You're Jesus, alright? You're my homeboy. Ain't nothing to do with the son of God or shit like that. You know what I'm saying, man? Come on. And so he was like, dude, listen, I'm Jesus, dude. I should rule the world. And I was like, all right, man, listen, you're Jesus, and you could rule the world if you wanted to. But the problem is, dude, see, like, you have to have some sort of gimmick, man. He was like, right on, bro, right on. I'm going to rule the world with an iron dildo. And I was like, I could work, so what are we going to do? And he's like, I don't know. I was hoping you could come up with a plan. You're the master plan. And I was like, all right, listen. What we got to do is we got to take over Rome. We got to overthrow those fucking Roman bastards, and then we'll be fine, you know? All right? So we'll just go to Rome. We'll overthrow Rome. We'll rule the world. And Jesus was like, yo, I'm down with that. It's cool. It's cool. So we go to Rome, and we're like, yo, we're Jesus and Jason, and we're taking over Rome, and we're going to rule the world. And Rome was like, no, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? And then we pulled out the steel dildo of metalness and ironness, and they were like, that's a dildo. And we were like, yeah, and we're going to take over Rome with it. And they were like, no, we got spears and shit. So I was like, nah, it's cool, man. Check this out. So I stabbed him in the face with the steel dildo. And he was like, well, it didn't really hurt. You kind of stabbed me. So I kept clobbering this guy over the head with this fucking steel dildo. And he was like, holy shit, that really fucking hurts. And then he passed out. And I was just like, well, I rule Rome now. And then we rule the world because we ruled Rome. Until we were overthrown by the Jews. And, well, you know, shit happens, I guess. I have a feeling my storytelling is impacting my ability to play this game. I have a feeling my storytelling is impacting your ability to play this game.
Maybe a little. Although I kind of zoned out at some point, so...
I kind of zone out at some points, too. That's the problem with it. It's just like, what am I saying? And I'm just zoning out on myself. It's really weird. Ow, charged.
Poor Fordar. He died.
Sorry, Fordar, man. A little too busy telling stories to pay attention to you dying. Can I get a story about you and Medic? Me and Medic! So one day I was getting pummeled full of bullet holes, and I was like, you know, getting shot full of bullet holes kind of sucks. And this German guy came along and he was like, I can fix you with bullet magic! And I was like, well, that's not really a German accent. Are you sure you're German? He's like, trust me, I'm German, alright, asshole? So I was like, alright, cool, whatever, you can fix me with bullet magic. How does that work? And he was like, I got charged. And he was like, well, listen, I'll just shove this bullet up your ass, and it'll be bullet magic, and you'll get fixed and healed. And I was like, well, alright, that sounds fair enough. Only it didn't work. He shoved a bullet up my ass, and I just kept bleeding. It really didn't help anything. There's a charger in here, thank you. It really didn't help anything, so it was just like, well, you know what, I have a better idea. How about you use a medic gun instead? And he was like, brilliant! So he shot me with a medic gun, and only he didn't realize that he was just actually shooting me with a regular gun, so I kept bleeding. And I was like, no, dude, you have to shoot me with something that's going to fix me. And he was like, oh. So he started pumping me full of methamphetamines, and only that really didn't work, because now I was just high out of my mind, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So every time he shoots me, now that I'm pumped so full of meth, that really, I just think he's healing me. So all that red you see coming out of the medic gun in Team Fortress 2, that's just actually because you're hallucinating. It's actually your blood.
Interesting.
Very interesting. At least I think it is. Tell us about the time that you used TF2 to kill Osama. Oh, it's very interesting. I abducted a Navy SEAL, and I implanted in him remote control operation procedures that would actually be controlled remotely through TF2. And the operation to kill Osama was actually conducted by me on my TF2 server. Only I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. It's actually kind of weird. It's actually kind of weird now that you think about it. I had no idea I was actually doing the operation. All I was doing was pushing little cart, and apparently pushing little cart means putting hole in Osama bin Laden's head. Who knew? Anyway, you guys ready? Let's go.
Oh, God.
There's charges everywhere. Oh my God! Those are a lot of charges.
No shit, they got me. No shit, they got me again. And I am actually teleporting between 2 different chargers.
Tell us about the time you destroyed Luxembourg with a rock band guitar and a can of Pepsi. Alright, well, this is actually going back to my younger days when I was just really high and, you know, kind of stupid. But I was like, you know what? I really want to visit Luxembourg. In fact, I want to take the Grand Duchy over. I want to rule the Grand Duchy, and I didn't know how to rule the Grand Duchy. I didn't know what would be the most effective way to rule it. So I was like, I think this Grand Duchy, it's the banking capital of Europe. I think it needs more Rock Band and Pepsi. And so I went to the leaders of Luxembourg, and I was, listen, give me Luxembourg, and I'll make it awesome. And they were like, no. So I took out my Rock Band guitar controller, and I was like, listen, give me Luxembourg. And they were like, no, we've got shit to do. Go away, little man. So I beat the leaders of Luxembourg over the head with my guitar controller, and they were like, ow, what the fuck are you doing? That's plastic, it hurts. So one of them tried to shoot me. And then I hockey pucked the fucking gun away, and he was like, why the fuck did you do that? I was like, because you fucking shot me, asshole. And he was like, I tried to shoot you, I didn't hit you. And then I was like, no, fuck you, give me your country. And he was like, well, what if I don't give you my country? And I was like, I'll keep hitting you with this fucking guitar controller. And he was like, well, I'm not going to give it to you. So I hit him again. He was like, well, I'm still not going to give it to you. And so I was like, well, you know what, asshole? If you're not going to give it to me, then I'm going to take out this can of Pepsi and I'll start beating you in the face with it. So I beat him in the face with the can of Pepsi, and he was like, I submit, I submit, I submit. And I finally got Luxembourg with a guitar controller and a can of Pepsi. Thank you, Final Freak.
No problemo.
This story made a volcano and will erupt chocolate person, right?
Oh, shit. I'm gonna be black and white after this.
I am black and white.
Sorry, reload.
About the time I played with portals. Portals are an interesting thing to play with. You see, you can end up in any location really fast with a portal. But the problem with playing with portals is sometimes you kind of get these ideas in your head that you're going to surprise fuck somebody, and then you end up surprise fucking yourself. And it's really very, very strange. Like, I shot a portal in the bathroom, and I was like, you know, I got morning wood. That's a nice ass. Why don't I fuck it? And I was like, ugh, that feels great. What the fuck is in my... Oh, God, it's my own dick. So I ended up shoving my own dick in my own ass, but... You know what? It was a nice experience. At least I learned, you know. I was just like, well, whatever. But that was only one time I played with portals. The other time I played with portals, I actually dropped a car on top of a baboon, and I dropped that little crushed figure on top of Air Force One. And the dudes in Air Force One, they were all like, what the fuck's going on here? And they called the terrorism alert and everything. I was just like, no, it's cool, dude. I'm just playing with portals. And Obama was like... Alright, man, well, listen. You know, we've told you to be careful with these portals before, but whatever. Going the wrong way, Dotlies.
I think he's trying to hug
Oh, no, never mind. You are going the right way. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. You're down anyway.
No. Technically, it's physically impossible to fuck your own ass even through a portal.
It's hard to tell
I know.
where the hell you are.
I thought I farted, so who cares?
Stop squirming. I'm gonna heal you.
Does the time you end up with Jareth the Goblin King? Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah, I hung out with Jareth the Goblin King, okay? I'm not proud of it, but I did it. Basically, I felt bad for him. You know, he's this guy, he's living in this fucking tower all by himself. He's stuck here. He can't fucking do anything. And I'm like, you know, Jay, let's go hang out, man. Come on, let's just do it. Let's hang out. We'll be buds. You know, it'll be cool. We won't have to fight or anything. And he was like, all right, I can dig that. Whatever. You know, no big deal. Only the problem was he is kind of a dick, and he took out a sword and he stabbed me in the spleen. So now I have to take medications because I don't have a spleen anymore. But it's cool, though, because after he stabbed me in the spleen, I was like, yo, Jay, I was hanging out with you as a friend. Why'd you stab me? And he was like, sorry, dude, I'm evil. And I was like, well, what the fuck, man? You're evil, but I was like hanging out with you as being your friend and everything. Shouldn't that earn me some brownie points or anything? And he's like, you know, I really don't operate in brownies. I operate in gold and murder. And I was like, well, I kind of get the gold and murder thing, but here's the problem. I fucking hung out with you, and I got brownies. You're not only going to try and kill me, but you're going to try and take my brownies as well. I'm not cool with that, dude. And he was like, well, I just don't understand. Why are you so upset with me? And I'm like, dude, you stabbed me in the spleen when I was going to give you brownies. What the fuck? And he was like, yeah, that is kind of douchey of me. So he stabbed me again, and this time in the heart. And I was like, yo, I fucking need that, bro. What the hell? And he was like, listen, dude, I'm evil. It's what I do. And I'm like, all right, listen, if you're going to keep doing this, then you and I, we're going to fucking tango. So I took out a very large hammer and I smashed him in the face with it. And now Jareth doesn't have a face. So he just sort of sits there in the bottom of his fucking cesspool of his own filth and hate. And he just sort of sits there and contemplates being smacked in the face with my hammer of fucking awesome. Tell us how you dominated 5th graders in a game of dodgeball. Well, that was a lot harder than you think. I hadn't played dodgeball in years, and we were actually losing I was actually losing to the 5th graders 2 rounds to none. And I was like, oh shit, how the fuck am I gonna do? So I took out an Uzi and I killed all the 5th graders, then I won the game by default. Invented hats, and Valve stole your idea and implemented in TF2. This is actually more corporate espionage than anything, because I came up with the idea of hats many centuries ago. And I was like, yo, you know it'd be cool if we had something on our heads to protect us from the sun. And Valve was like, that'd be really cool, but what if we implemented that in a virtual world? And I was like, well, that's kind of fucking stupid. You're in a fake world. Why would you need a hat? And Valve was like, true that. So they put hats in their game anyway. And I was like, you know what? I got a better idea. I know how to monetize that. Why don't you charge people a lot of money for it? It's a popular game, and you can get away with it. And so I ended up giving Valve a little bit of a black eye there because, you know, the man store and everything. We're losing.
Very badly.
Time you beat Solid Snake in a breakdancing contest? Well, it's not hard to beat Solid Snake in a breakdancing contest. You know how he breakdances? He hides underneath a cardboard box. That's how he breakdances. Alright? So, I mean, all I had to do was fart and I'd won. Going. Tell us about the time we fell in love. We being Nighthawk. Well, Nighthawk, I hate to break it to you, but we, as in you and I, never really fell in love. That was actually a potion, and I kind of poisoned you with it. You were actually hallucinating at the time. You were thinking I'm your true love, only I really wasn't. The problem was you were actually slowly dying at the time, and your brain was shutting down, so it was really just a function of your brain shutting down that you thought we were in love. Sorry, but I needed your body for medical experiments. You're still not dead yet, by the way, which kind of pisses me off. That was supposed to be a fast-acting poison, and fast-acting my ass. It's been 22 years now, you piece of shit. Why don't you fucking die? That's about the time I stole a 747. Well, that's not very difficult. I walked onto an airstrip and I just took a 747. It's not that hard. I don't really have all that much security when there's nobody on the plane. Right the tank right Tiamat. Come on, more original ideas, guys.
You gonna stay down
It's a hole in the stairs, and Roll T was just dancing with